I've thought about this a lot more in recent years. I think as I'm learning, I mean, Passover is like the foundational story of the Bible.
Mm.
We're gonna get into to this new Haggadah that you created.
So, Passover actually holds a really special place in my heart because it was the very first taste of anything Hebraic that my family actually experienced and really set us on the journey. It was basically because of Passover that we ended up doing this whole thing with Hayuvel and now Israel Lighthouse. I remember going through and I was like, wow, this is a really just interactive and very biblical and rich. And it helped me as a very young person to understand more about who Yeshua is. Basically, this Haggadah has been like 20 years in the making, every year doing updates.
The majority of the people on this call are Christians and certainly are interested, and some have been celebrating Passover for years. You've been doing this for 31 years, and you've taught on this, and now you've written a Haggadah. But obviously, not all Christians are persuaded that this is a good thing. So I'm curious, what are some of the reasons you've heard and that people still maybe are thinking and experiences, but what are some of the reasons that Christians are reluctant to celebrate Passover? Those could be theological reasons, or they can just be, as much as, hey, this seems overwhelming and it's foreign. How can your Haggadah help?
Unfortunately, throughout Christian history, because of the anti-Semitism and because of supersessionism, Christians have devalued the Tanakh, right? The Old Testament, unfortunately, has been seen as just kind of irrelevant for Christians, right? It's like only the New Testament. Christianity has kind of taken this view of it being irrelevant. And I think for our family, we realized, especially doing the Passover Seder, we realized, wow, God's word is very relevant for us as believers, right? And maybe this is kind of the second problem is people look at it and they say, oh, no, that's Judaism, that's Jewish, and I'm Christian, so that's different. And that's not something for me. That's something for a Jewish person. But for me, when I experienced the Passover Seder, I fell more in love with Yeshua, right? When you connect with Israel, the land and the people, and you understand the context of the Bible so much better, and it brings your faith alive, your Christian faith. I wanted to create a Haggadah that was particularly Zionistic, something that also brought in the restoration of Israel. What I wanted the Haggadah to be is to encourage people to not only be encouraged by and experience and commemorate the Exodus from Egypt, but also the greater Exodus that's happening right now. And so there's this looking forward to, right? Not only commemorating what was, but also looking forward to the coming kingdom that we can also celebrate, right? I think another reason would just be that people are just unfamiliar. It feels very Jewish. It feels very different. I've never done that before. I don't know what it would be like. And so I don't even know how to start. And I think that's where this Haggadah really comes in to play, because it's specifically written as like a very clearly written out step by step. It has the readers assigned. It has everything so that you don't have to have done Passover ever before. You could pick up this Haggadah, sit down with your family, and just do it right there. There's one page in the beginning that talks about all the different elements you need, and then sit down with your family, and you could go right through that Haggadah for the first time. And I think you would love it, like I was the first time I experienced it, and be like, wow, this is so rich and incredible, and it helped me understand even more who my Messiah Yeshua is.